Imagine going from this, cold, hungry, and hopeless, to this. A warm bed, a roof over your head, no strings attached. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, in Finland, it's reality. And it's freaking out other countries. Homelessness is rising almost everywhere, from the US to the UK, Germany to Canada. Billions are spent every year on shelters, food banks, and social programs. And yet the problem keeps getting worse. But Finland? Finland is doing the opposite. They're giving homeless people permanent homes without making them earn it first. And their homelessness rate is plummeting. Sounds like the perfect solution, right? Then why are so many governments terrified of copying Finland's model? Let's break it down. Let's get one thing straight. Homelessness isn't just about not having a house. It's about addiction, mental illness, job loss, trauma, broken families. And the way most countries deal with it? A complete disaster. Governments rely on temporary solutions, shelters that are overcrowded and unsafe, rehabilitation programs that require sobriety before offering housing, waiting lists that take years to move through. And yet, the US alone spent $51 billion last year on homelessness, with no results. So why does Finland stand alone? Because they stopped playing by the rules. Finland did something radical. They stopped making homeless people prove they're worthy of housing. No rehab requirements, no job searches, no hoops to jump through. Instead, they give people permanent housing first, then offer support. Therapy, job training, addiction services. But here's the twist. It's optional. And guess what? It works. Over 80% of people housed through this program never become homeless again. Finland's homelessness rate has dropped by over 75% since the 1980s. The government actually saves money because fewer people end up in hospitals, jails, or shelters. Sounds perfect, right? Not so fast. Critics say Finland is just shifting homelessness from the streets into government-funded apartments. Some people never get a job or stop using drugs. It's extremely expensive. Who pays for this long term? Are they actually solving homelessness or just hiding it indoors? But Finland argues that homelessness already costs society billions through police interventions, emergency health care, and crime. And if people are housed, those costs drop. So if this really saves money, why hasn't every country done it? Some places have tried housing first and failed. Take California. They've spent over $20 billion on housing programs in the last decade. Yet homelessness is still skyrocketing. Why? Because there's nowhere affordable to live. Strict zoning laws, skyrocketing real estate prices, bureaucracy, corruption. The list goes on. Meanwhile, Finland controls much of its land and has fewer restrictions on building affordable housing. That makes their system work. But is this just an excuse? Or could other nations actually make this work if they really wanted to? Here's where things get uncomfortable. Finland's model doesn't force people to change. If they relapse into addiction, they keep their home. If they refuse job training, they keep their home. Critics say this rewards bad behavior and creates permanent homelessness. But Finland says stability is the key to change. Take Mika, homeless for 10 years, given an apartment. At first, kept drinking. But after 8 months, he got sober on his own because he finally felt safe. So the big question, should housing be conditional? Or should it be a basic human right? Finland is aiming for zero homelessness by 2027. Meanwhile, in most countries, the crisis is only getting worse. Here's the truth. It's not about money. The US and UK already spend more on homelessness than Finland does on housing first. The difference? Political will. If homelessness can be solved, then keeping people on the streets is a choice. So the real question is, why are we choosing this? What do you think? Should housing be a right, or should people have to earn it? Comment below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into global issues.